Thanks, Dave. I'm Rob Hacklow along with Danny Lynn, and on Monday morning, it's time for another Life Recipe for Success. Well, good morning. Here we are, another week.
Another week.
Another Monday.
Another success ingredient. And today we're going to be talking about how to set personal boundaries.
Personal boundaries.
Within your life, yes. And this is kind of a more difficult success ingredient to incorporate. And really when we're talking about setting personal boundaries, I'm really speaking to those of you that kind of have a tough time standing up for yourself. Maybe you keep on agreeing to doing the things that you really don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're tolerating rude comments from associates or friends, or maybe you take things too personally. So if this kind of applies to you, pay attention a little bit today.
All right, I think I will. No, I think I can understand now that you described that.
Yeah, so basically creating stronger boundaries is one of the best ways to improve your life. So when we're talking about setting personal boundaries, what comes to mind for you, Rob?
I just think of boundaries as space and also respect.
Mm-hmm.
I would think about personal boundaries. I was trying to think of, I don't know if I have an example right now that comes to mind quickly, but I think it's just about, respecting my space. And I would think that, kind of like a work thing maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, basically, boundaries is about teaching people how to treat you, whether it be in a relationship with a spouse or loved one, or even like a relationship within your coworkers. And to me, it's about, if I were to define it in my own words, it's about space around your personal power without letting people kind of go in too much. It's like the invisible wall, so to speak. But
like that dog fence?
Right, like the invisible fence.
Dog fence?
But by definition, a boundary is the amount of physical or emotional space that you need to distance yourself from people without feeling closed in or smothered by somebody else that's too close to you. And if you remember when you were a little kid, when it comes to physical space, remember when you just had to put your arms out, making sure no one was in your personal space?
Yeah, you're right. Your circle.
Your circle, right.
Yeah.
But today I want to talk more about the emotional space to treat yourself right. So one of the reasons why it's important to set boundaries is it's important to take care of ourselves. And it's all right to actually take care of yourself because no one else is going to take care of you except for you.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, when it comes to setting boundaries this week, I want you to pay attention to where you start to lose energy. It's about self-awareness. You need to pay attention to where you start to get ticked off when someone doesn't do something or say something or act a certain way. Because those are little cues that someone is interviewing or involving themselves in your personal space a little bit.
Okay, well that makes sense. So if someone keeps doing that and it makes you angry and you're upset about it, what do you do? Because I suppose the other person can't read your mind, right? So maybe they don't know they're invading your personal space.
Right. So when it comes to setting personal boundaries, it's really about communication. And it's tough to do. It's very uncomfortable to have a conversation with somebody that they may have gotten used to you being the way you normally are, and they're used to maybe, if you're a people pleaser, which I tend to be, I tend to say yes right out of the gate without thinking about doing things.
No, I would be the same way sometimes.
Are
Sure,
you?
that sounds like a good plan. Sure, let's do that. And then either you make too many plans, or it upsets you.
Right. Right. And sometimes when someone asks you to do something, you're not in the state to actually take it into consideration properly. So I have a couple tips this week as far as how to set some boundaries when it comes to coworkers or family members.
Okay.
So first off, let's say you are giving extra commitments to people. What you need to do is you need to say, okay, so although this organization is important to me, I need to decline your request to volunteer in order to help honor my own family needs. So you need to actually pay attention to these extra commitments that you're giving to people because it's going to start to interfere in your own life.
Okay.
When it comes to making tough decisions, one of the things I suggest you do is basically have a rule where you sleep on things before you actually say yes to them right away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're trying to get rid of that instinct to say yes right away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you create a habit where you constantly say, oh, let me sleep on it first and then I'll actually give you an answer.
All right.
And then let's just say you actually get into a commitment that you need to back out of. What you need to do is you need to say, I know I agreed to doing this fundraiser or this event, but after reviewing my schedule, I now realize that I can't give you the best attention that I can, but I'll be more than happy to help you find somebody else that can help you do X, Y, Z. So it's okay to back out of commitments, but it's important to be clear about what's going on and why you actually said yes in the beginning, and the reason why you need to back out, and help them fill that spot or that commitment that you wanted to originally commit yourself to.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And you're right. This is the kind of thing where people will say, well, Judy used to volunteer for every event. Why is she not volunteering anymore? What a jerk. No,
Right.
you don't want to say that, but she may have some other things in her life, and it's resetting those boundaries that can be very tough. But it's good to think about it, and it's important, and I think these are great tips to think about.
Yeah, and it's tough to set boundaries when you're not used to it. It's uncomfortable at first, but I'll tell you something, when you start to actually take care of yourself and set those boundaries, you become a much better, well-rounded person. You'll be happier. So that's about it for this week. This is Danny Lynn, Life Recipes for Success. Be sure to sprinkle your life with a little success.
And of course, find out more online
At liferecipesforsuccess.com.
It's a beautiful girl.